Hi, this is Rigsters here with another episode in my journey series on Warthunder. Today, I'm going to be covering the ground forces in realistic mode. Realistic mode is a very fun mode to play if you like more realistic tank battles. Unlike in air arcade, ground arcade matches you only can spawn 3 times guaranteed, and then you go back to the garage if you lose all those tanks. In realistic mode, for the ground forces, you can spawn this whole lineup if you play well enough, because it goes by a spawn point mechanic. Each spawn costs more over time, with heavy tanks such as the M4 A3 E2 76 costing the most, and scout tanks and being the second least, and anti-aircraft being the least spawn point cost. Now, I'm going to be showing more of like a high-end BR lineup from 6.3 to 5.7, with one that some tank fans will recognize, the M18 Hellcat. And in this game, it performs pretty good, even with the BR at 6.3. It still has sufficient pen if you get close enough. I'm mainly doing this because I have a 150% booster got from just logging into the game, and I want to take advantage of that. And the 10% lines, which is also I saved to use for the purposes of this video. So let's go into a match, and I'll see you there. Alright, so unlike with air battles, you do select the tanks just like normal, but when you do realistic ground matches, you have what's called spawn points, which is on the upper left corner here. And the tanks have different costs depending on what BR you're going to be facing too. And also it's somewhat more realistic with the nations being fought. Like, since this is World War II, you generally will see German tanks if you play as the Allies, such as America. And sometimes you'll be partnered with Russia, Britain, and the other original allies of the series. So I'm going to spawn in my best tank, the medium Pershing, with a 90mm gun. It has decent armor, and the penetration values are average. They're not great, but it's okay. And the max repair costs, as you can see near the bottom, near visibility, that is more expensive to repair than the other vehicles because it's getting to the point where if you do poorly, you're going to pay. So I'm going to spawn in. Blue, of course, is friendly. Red is enemy. The markers for the enemies will not be shown, unlike in arcade, because it's realistic. They did change the symbols a little bit on the radar since I last played Tank Realistic, which is good. It's much easier to make out the symbols. So let's see what nations we're facing. Facing the Germans and the Italians. And our allies are Russia, Britain, and France. So I have to look for German and Italian tanks. Luckily, there's still no team damage, but you can accidentally get them spotted if you fire machine guns on them. After a while, they're like, hey, there's something over here. And driving in this game is a little bit more complicated than in War of Tanks. The cruise control system is somewhat similar. I think this is a custom binding. E key you tap to do like cruise control 1, cruise control 2, and then maximum speed. Unlike in War of Tanks though, your reverse speed for most tanks outside of light tanks and really fast vehicles, you back up far slower than you move forward, which is more realistic in that regard. And just like in air arcade, if you hold down the C button, your turret won't move. If you let go, it will follow your mouse. Driving with the mouse and keyboard is generally recommended, unless if you have like a good gamepad setup. Joysticks, I don't know. I've never tried it with a joystick, but I've heard of people using a joystick for this game. And a very important tactic to use is the B key, which is binoculars. This allows you to see above your tank a little bit, like the camera's perspective is slightly above, and further zoom. What you're trying to look for is muzzle flashes, or silhouettes of enemy vehicles. Since I didn't see any there, I'm going to back up a little bit. Now surprisingly, the Pershing actually has a decent backup speed. 9 miles an hour is actually very quick for a World War II vehicle of this type. The shell I normally use is an upgraded one, because just like in Air Arcade, you earn research points by doing actions such as capping, destroying, and assisting. You earn it at a higher rate in realistic, however, it is more difficult because you have to really look for them. So there's stealth gameplay mechanics pretty much built in too. You don't have many markers outside of like seeing where your allies are and the little HUD on the bottom right corner of the screen. You also have to unlock fire extinguishers and crew replenishment when you take damage or your engine gets on fire. Sometimes you don't even survive that kind of shot either. So that's what makes realistic battles more difficult. Now I saw a muzzle flash from in front of me T-34. And with binoculars, if you hold down the mouse button and you quickly switch to another view, your gun will fire at that point. I'm not going to demonstrate that right at this moment because I don't want to get spotted. Firing and moving increases your chances of being spotted. It's unlike in War of the Tanks, if you actually see the silhouette, they don't just instantly vanish. That is one other nice perk of Warthunder's mechanics. Some people don't like that, some do. It's a preference thing. I'm kind of 50-50. There are some days where I wish they had that in this game, and other days I don't. So, the 90mm, historically in real life, late World War II gun, was okay. It was definitely not an 88 like the Shermans, but it was definitely better than the 76. It was intended to fight the Tigers and Panthers, but not many made it to the front lines. There was limited service in World War II. They served more in the Korean War, but then they were quickly replaced by the Patton because they were even faster and more agile. Because the engine in this tank is still underpowered. The armor is much improved though, so at least they had that. So, I'm just going to be driving up here, looking around. I do see a lot of gunfire, and an M6. Wow, I didn't expect to see an M6 at this BR. We must have upped that first for lower cost. That's a lower tier heavy tank. It's a good tank in this game, but at this BR it's losing its effectiveness over time because it's so big. I do see shell shots there. Let me go into normal binocular view. No. Oh, yeah, if you see a blinking arrow like that, that means a player scouted him with the scout vehicle. So I'm trying to see what's over there, but somebody deployed smoke, so I'm going to back up now. It's not a good idea to hang here. And there's also aircraft in this mode, so you can get bombed pretty easily. Do not know where these enemies are. They didn't lose a ton of vehicles yet, so there is a lot here. Oh, there's definitely something over there, but I can't see it. So I'm going to angle my armor just a little bit. Angling works. Nope. Of course. The King Tiger's right there, and I accidentally left clicked at the wrong point. That's a weird sound effect. They changed the sound for the 90mm, at least in the gunner view. Try this again. There we go. Oh my god. There's a tiger right in front of me. Aw, ricochet. Just a little bit too low there. Let's try aiming just a little bit higher. Come on. Reload. Yeah. There we go. A critical hit. His engine's moderately damaged too. Let's see if I can do this again. Yeah, target destroyed. That was a Nashorn. Those are a high threat tank. You want to take those out pretty quickly. 50 cals can pen lightly armored vehicles to a point. I mean, the Nashorn has enough armor to deflect it from that range though. But if you get close enough, I'm sure I probably could have penned him with that. Oh, Panther. Oh, look at that. Wow, that was a heck of a shot there. I don't usually get this kind of luck with the 90. Usually it takes 2 shots to kill that tank. Oh, a Hetzer. Oh, Hetzer's no problem with this tank. If he pens this tank, I'll be sad. Whoa, yikes. There we go, knocked out again. Wow, this is definitely going to make for some great replays, eh? Wow, this is actually the best I ever did in the Pershing. I usually don't do this well. for this particular tank because my luck is not very high. Let's try that again. Whoa. Yeah, I better back up just a little bit. Yeah, they know where I'm at because I killed so many tanks. Yep, that's what usually happens. My ammunition. Oh, he got the drop on me. What's up the M41 Walker Bulldog? This was more in service in, I believe, it was like near the Korean Vietnam War era. So this is definitely a post-war vehicle. It was an improvement over the Chaffee in real life. In the game, this tank trolls, especially with the elite ammunition upgrade to Sabo rounds. The elite Sabo rounds, which is the M331A2 shot, 177mm pens at 30 degrees at 1,000 meters. That's really good. However, it's Sabo. Sabo does not cause spalling at this tier very well. But you don't have any issues destroying tanks if you get the drop on them. It's just you have to be very precise. I wish it had a stabilizer, but you can't have everything. This tank is a very fun tank to play though. I've done some great fun matches to this tank. And since it's a scout vehicle, you can do scouting mechanics, which if you see a target in gunner view or the BK view and you mouse over the target and press V, they will be temporarily spotted or have a higher chance of appearing on the map so your allies can hit them or you know where they are. It's a very useful tool that scout vehicles must use to be effective. That was a good first run so far with 3 tank kills. I'm very impressed with that. And we are winning this match. We captured 2 out of 3 zones, so they're slowly losing tickets, or aka spawn points. They're 468 as of that tab key hold down. Oh, yeah, spotted a target over there. He doesn't see me, but I see him from the binoculars. Let's see if I can hit him. Oh. Oh. That's weird. I thought that tank was alive, but maybe that's just a dead turret. It was a bit confusing. So, if the M26 Pershing earned a whopping 15,000 lions, that's insane profit. Let's see what I actually took home. And unlocked some research points too. Ooh, this is nice. Definitely getting adjustment of fire to increase my accuracy range. And definitely getting the crew replenishment researched. So, before I spend money on upgrades, I'm going to lose 1,000 because I only really took home 10,546. So 5,000, yeah, I'm going to lose about, let's see here, 10,000. I'm going to lose about 700 lines purchasing these upgrades, but it's definitely worth purchasing because I want this tank to get really good. And yeah, the cost is going up every time you buy an upgrade for it. But that was really fun. I want to definitely do one more match. And I'm researching on the tree here, the T92 Light, which is really going to be sweet. So I'll see you in the battle. Alright, so I'm going to be spawning the M26 Pershing to start off with again. Especially since I had very good success that first round. That was probably my best Pershing match in realistic that I can remember. Doing 3 kills before dying is a very good accomplishment in realistic battles, especially on your first spawn. Usually your first spawn is like a 50-50 chance of you're going to do great, average, or terrible. That one was great. The only minor problem is the match ended so quickly that I couldn't profit from it because of the module upgrades, but my turret will turn faster now, which is very useful. You definitely want your turret upgraded too. I mean, it raises the cost to like a whopping, oh boy, 7,900 for repair. Yikes. Yeah, that's pretty expensive. Our allies are the French and the British. Oh no, it's going to be against German, Russian, and Chinese. Oh boy. That's going to be a lot of damage. anytime you face off against the Russians, they have very fast moving tanks, so that's going to be a challenge. And town fighting is usually more difficult and realistic because it's so hard to see all the smoke and debris and stuff. It's kind of, in a way, a little bit chilling, because if I think about it of how like this would go on in real life, it kind of can be terrifying, because this is just a video game, but in real life I couldn't really see myself doing this. I really couldn't. Much props to the nation's militaries, prospectively, because it takes a lot of courage, for sure. Alright, so I'm going to be capturing B, which I don't know, I didn't get any points for that. Bummer. That's also another way of profiting in this game if you reach the capture point. And I got hit. As I was saying that. So my tracks were blown off, so I have to wait 26 seconds for repair. Luckily, it doesn't require a toolkit to fix this, if I didn't have that. But it is annoying, and you can't move. So I'm looking around, seeing where did they go. I'm just gonna hold down the C key and take a look around and stare at stuff. It could have been an artillery strike, because usually that's what artillery strikes do, is they track heavier tanks like that and they get vulnerable. So I'm going to move out of there so I don't get hit again from that particular strike. I am seeing stuff popping on the radar in the bottom right corner here. So there's definitely vehicles close by on C3. That's what the blinking red is. Oh! Let's see if we can get a good shot on him. Oh no! That was a terrible RNG roll. But he is sloped, so let me try that machine gun for him. Oh no. This is no good. This ain't good. Oh. Okay. Well, kill assist is okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but at least it's something. Oh, enemy tank here. Let's see what it is. Oh, that's an IS. Yikes. Yeah, ISs are difficult to pen with this gun, even if the upgraded ammunition. Let's try this turret. What? Non-penetration. Very, very balanced, comrade. Oh! You want to back up now? Yeah, they know I'm there, so I don't want to take any more shots there. Oh, T-34, 85. Yeah, those are a big threat. Those tanks right there. Yeah, I want to hold the line. No. Wait, where did he come from? Ah, I see. Alright, well, time to... let's run a Hellcat. Let's get some flanking shots in. This tank is really fun, too. The Hellcat, with the stock ammunition, is very sufficient to take out a T-34-85, to a point. However, this tank can easily die to airstrikes, and it also can get machine gunned, meaning 50 cals can penetrate the armor because it's so light. But it's very quick. It's not really ideally suited for this kind of map, but I'm going to give it a shot anyways, just to show you what the Hellcat's like. Oh, and this is what usually will happen after a while. Dang. Gotta love it when enemy air support's better than your own. Gotta love it. Yeah, he took out half of my crew in one hit. So now I just have to sit here and wait. And just wonder where I can go next. 18 seconds. I don't know if this is going to survive. Let's see how many spawn points I have left. 474, so I do have enough for one more respawn. Well, actually, technically two if I do the light tank and the AA. I don't really want to spawn AA, because that's not what we need. So, let's get this tank moving. Get out of here. So, that's what I mean by like how ridiculous it can get with Russia and Germany. Russia and Germany are very strong at this BR too. Very effective. US can struggle when Russia is not on your team for this reason. Don't see anything in there. Nashville. Wow, that was a really good shot for the Nashhorn, if I say so myself. He got me all the way from B3, which is over here. Now it's like here. Yeah, this match is going to be a lose. But at least I had one good match, which is kind of funny. Yeah, this game can get frustrating pretty quick when that kind of stuff happens. I'm trying to look around and see. I'm trying to get to the point, but every time I try to, I get hit by aircraft. Let's see if aircraft will hit me this time. Oh god. You can't hit them with machine guns. I'm holding down the space bar to get him. Trying to hit him. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Sometimes it can work, but not that range. Well, I thought that was a tank there. Apparently, that was the T-34-85 that got us earlier. Just trying to figure out like where these guys are hiding, because it's so hard to see for all these bushes. Oh, no! I was trying to get him spotted, but it's too slow. Yeah, they basically locked me down. Well, at least I can get to show you the anti-aircraft vehicle, which is the M19 is what I have. Yeah, it's an okay one. It's slow rate of fire. Has good damage when you hit, but it's very difficult. So I'll switch to anti-aircraft shells, which is the dark blue versus the cyan blue shells. The cyan blue shells are for anti-tank or light vehicles. I want to make sure I have anti-aircraft shells loaded, which is basically just high explosives, which of course does a lot more damage to planes than tanks. Tanks will take no damage pretty much from that shot. I'm trying to find where they went. Oh boy, they already locked down the spawn point. I'm trying to see where the aircraft went. That's what I'm looking for in the sky right now. Oh, there's one. If they don't have a blue symbol over it, that means they're enemy. And I almost got shot saying that. Alright, I'm switching to anti-tank. Alright. Let's get some hits in. I know it's not going to kill the tank. Yep, that was a lose. A bit disappointing on the second match. I was not happy with that performance, but what do you expect, you know? It's just the way it is. So, with that being said, that's basically what tank realistic battles can be like. At least the first match was pretty impressive. I also cover War of the Tanks, Forza Horizons, and JWAP. Be sure to check those out sometime. And maybe next time on the next Warthunder series video, I might cover either another nation or mode. Who knows? I'll see you next time on Rigsters Journey. Signing off.